So the Wu-Tang Clan is back, guys, in a video game. Sounds awesome, right? Well, Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver got revealed at Summer Games Fest, complete with a flashy announcement during the kickoff of their farewell tour. It was supposed to be this big cultural movement, right? 25 years since Wu-Tang's last game, but there's a twist that immediately sets off alarm bells. Sweet Baby Inc. is involved. Yeah, them again. Sweet Baby Inc. does exactly what you think it does. So the game's being developed by Brass Line Entertainment, which is a studio that prides itself on creating stories centered around marginalized voices. Fair enough, that's cool, but what didn't make it to the stage presentation or Xbox marketing was the fact that Sweet Baby Inc. has its fingerprints all over this thing. We didn't hear it from the developers or the publishers either. The credit for this discovery goes to Master of the TDS on YouTube, who put a tweet out, and he's been digging for months about Sweet Baby Inc.'s growing influence in the gaming industry. Here's the tweet right here. And this news actually came to me when I was in the middle of New Black Street on Friday night. I was on with Atreus and Kata. Shoutouts to them. Go subscribe. We watched the actual trailer to this Wu-Tang game. We were excited. We were saying, yo, this looks awesome. And then we checked Twitter, because people in the live comments were telling us Sweet Baby Inc. detected. Sure enough, this is why we can't have anything good. Master TDS put Sweet Baby Inc. detected. Brass Line Entertainment's long-rumored game has finally been revealed. Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver, created with direct involvement from Kim Belair and Cameron Wild. Speak with your wallets, people. Master of the TDS did it again, folks. Constantly bringing Sweet Baby Inc. to light. Constantly exposing them. And yeah, this kind of sucks. He found out that Kim Belair, who is the founder of Sweet Baby Inc., and Cameron Wild, who's one of the narrative designers, were brought in as consultants for the game, and people were pretty upset. You can see there's all sorts of stuff being exposed here. Apparently, it was originally an Xbox exclusive, but it seems that they might have pulled out. According to this tweet, it says the cracks are showing, just as we reported in our most recent SBI video that they will link below. Kata said, fuck, right? And Brass Line has Master the TDS blocked. Lots of people are saying no. Definitely a lot of people are really upset about this, which is a shame. If you watch the trailer, it looked pretty good, actually. In fact, very good. And if you're not aware of who Cameron is that works at Sweet Baby Inc., this was the individual that literally said they want to burn the games industry to the ground. This unhinged person is one of the people working on this game. And of course, Kim Belair was the one that went on record to say that terrify the people in the marketing department at these game studios until you get what you want. But there was also this video clip, who's the senior writer at Brass Line Entertainment, who was actually admitting in this clip that the game has direct involvement with Kim and Cameron. Just in case anybody's wondering, let's take a look at it.
Currently at Brass Line, I'm one of the writers and there are designers working on a game that we're making. Kim and Cameron both work on it in a consulting capacity.
So yeah, right from the horse's mouth, they are directly involved, which is a pretty big letdown, at least in my opinion. Now, surprisingly, the trailer is not getting review bombed yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do my part, leave a dislike. And there's not anybody in here actually calling out Sweet Baby Inc., which is interesting enough, considering most of the time people will call this out. But I don't think it will be long until we see the dislike bombs happening. But the damage will definitely be done with this game. Mark my words. It's not getting dislike voted yet. We still haven't seen much of the gameplay. But I'm sure once people like Kim Belair start to talk about this game and we start to see the political messaging that we know they're going to shove in this game, things aren't going to be good. Now, there was a couple of sit-down interviews and stuff over the weekend with people that are involved with this game. There's still very little that we know about it. Even though they're trying to promote it, that it's for the culture, by the culture, we ultimately know at the end where this road leads to, like I was saying. And again, the trailer didn't show much. There wasn't as much as actual gameplay. It was a very, very quick little snippet In fact, it was very much a teaser. It did have what appeared to be like Into the Spider-Verse type of animation with some of the fighting mechanics and things like that. And it had this colors of like, like the blues and the greens and the reds and the pinks and stuff. So it really looked like Spider-Verse to me. But I don't have hopes for this game now. I really do not have hopes for this game at all now that the bad news of Sweet Baby Inc. was found out. What do you guys think about that? Are you guys feeling the same way? I mean, it's very hard to have high expectations once you find out they're involved with a game that you've been looking forward to. So, exit off the list. I'm not. I have no expectations for this. If it's a Game Pass game, I'll check it out. I'm not paying money for it though. That's what I did with South to Midnight. Now, again, like I said, if you don't know who these people are, Kim Belair once gave a speech encouraging creatives to terrify their marketing teams if they don't bind to force diversity. Not convince, not collaborate, terrify. And Wild, Cameron Wild, they were the ones preaching about how games should subvert game expectations and push more representational content. Translation, the story matters more than gameplay and your fun could wait. And this isn't just some harmless influence, all right? Let's talk results. Sweet Baby Inc. was attached to Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, which was an absolute train wreck. They helped with South of Midnight, which dropped to embarrassingly low Steam numbers, and they bled players within weeks. And the trend here is that there's big talk from them. Identity first storytelling, underwhelming execution. Now Sweet Baby Inc.'s got their hands in Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver, which is a project that's supposed to be inspired by Wu-Tang's own mythology, and a film co-produced by RZA and Ghostface Killah. And now you have Sweet Baby Inc. involved, so great. Just great, just great. And you think that this would be a passion project, right? Something rooted in authenticity. Instead, we're looking at just another title with the potential to be warped into the same bland, lecture-heavy experience that we've come to expect and seen before with Sweet Baby Inc. Now, Brass Lion CEO says this game is by the culture, for the culture, but if we learned anything, it's that when Sweet Baby Inc. shows up, it's often by the checklist for the discourse. Am I right or am I right? So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of red flags here already, and it almost snuck by. It almost freaking snuck by. When we were on New Blackstreet, we were excited for it, and then people had to burst our bubble. That's what we get. That's what we get for saying, oh, there's something that looks pretty cool, or this could be something that we're going to sink our teeth into. And then we find out that Sweet Baby Inc. and Kim Belair especially directly involved with this. So at the end of the day, the question's simple. Is this game going to honor the Wu-Tang legacy, or is it going to become just another casualty of modern-day consultant culture, which seems to be the norm, right? We had Dustborn, we had Suicide Squad, we had Concord of all things, and now Wu-Tang is getting their name and brand tied in and tainted by Sweet Baby Inc. I don't know, man. So far, this doesn't even feel like a comeback. It feels like a warning sign. We'll see what happens, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on the next one.